lots of excitement in the strongman world.
Yeah, we are as of now on the eve.
The precipice.
We're on the precipice of World's Strongest Man 2025. The last time we talked, we just spilled all the tea about Mitch Hooper.
We did.
And his let's say undies bundled.
Right. Today is May 14th, by the way. So tomorrow, May 15th, is the first day of World's Strongest Man. For anybody, if we get this out a couple days late, that's what's going on.
It's the undies have been slightly unbundled.
Can we briefly go over what his bundling was about?
So remember, if you haven't seen our last episode, go ahead and click on that and click the thumbs up and subscribe and
hit those notifications.
Make a comment. It could be absolute nonsense, but make a comment.
Anything.
So Mitch Hooper went to World's Strongest Man and said, "Hey, I don't think it's not cool that you don't allow friends and family tickets," which like not a whole lot of other shows do anyway.
Right.
And then he had some other gripes about World's Strongest Man that he put forth. And essentially, World's Strongest Man has responded by giving them a few tickets. They get the athletes get some tickets that they can give to their family and friends. It's not the family and friends area that I think Mitch was envisioning, but it still helps out some of those dudes.
It's nosebleeds, but it's fine.
I mean, there's and there's no doubt that like he had a good point. Like a lot of these guys don't they don't have a ton of money,
right?
And so like getting their family and friends there is a bit of a thing. But at the same
especially
time,
for the guys
like,
overseas,
absolutely, and even for Mitch in Canada, like getting into the States. But so they did that. He still, I don't think, feels like he was quote unquote heard by them.
What do you mean you weren't heard? You literally were heard.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll get through it. So he's somewhat unbundled. I think that they made the changes they made were not really the ones that he was complaining about, but they're good ones.
They are.
So most notably, the whole format of the qualifier into the final has changed. So if you're listening to this podcast, maybe you've never heard this before, but the way that World's Strongest Man has worked in the past is you had a heat round where you're put into a group and then you compete on 5 events and against the people in your group, and the top 2 people end up going into the finals. And then the finals are 5 additional events, and then whoever wins the finals is the one who wins the overall competition. And what this has done is created a situation where, just like we saw last year, you have a situation where you have 1 seeds in all of the groups who don't put forth their strongest effort on all the events, because why would they?
Right.
Now, I think I understand that argument, and Mitch has made that argument, and he essentially made a deal with his Heat last year that was basically like, hey, man, like, I'll do this. I'm going to go this far. Let's not kill ourselves and let's win the group. And so he did that, and he had that conversation.
That's just insane.
And okay, and so but it's that idea is a product of the fact that it's just the top 2 go.
Yeah.
So the heat match in the past didn't matter. So this year it's different. So you have your the first 5 events, you compete against your group. However, the person with you're going to be basically reset into, you will be awarded points based on where you place in your heat.
Okay, right.
So like, after those first 5 events, each person will have been awarded a certain amount of points depending on what place they took in the first 5 events. Depending on the number of points they have, they will then be awarded 10 through 1 point for the 10 finalists.
Okay.
So let's say this is probably going to happen. Let's say Tom wins his group. He will, depending on how many points he accrues, let's say he makes the most points you can, he will be awarded 10 points going into the finals.
Okay.
And let's say for whatever reason Mitch has the second most, he will be awarded 9 points going into the final. So essentially it aggregates all of the first 5 heats into kind of like an event.
Okay.
And then you're awarded
additional
10
points.
through 1 points going into the final.
Now that's in addition to the points accrued from each specific event.
No.
No. Okay.
It resets.
Okay.
So if you like whatever the maximum point possible in the yeah.
So like okay, so going into loading medley. So do you get points for loading medley?
Yeah. So you'll be awarded point. I mean, essentially what it does is, which is good, is it forces every athlete to care about every event.
Okay.
And it's not like it's not as I don't think it's as cut and dry as some people are saying. Like it is you are effectively competing against every other athlete. You're not really in the first 5, but you care because those initial points going in can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
If you go in, I mean, if you go into the finals, say you're middling at best, like say you're, I don't know, like I think Kordiaka could do some good stuff, but say Kordiaka gets out of his group, like, I don't know, he's having a good day.
Right.
And he gets into, and he's middle of the pack moving into the finals. Like that's huge. He goes in with 5 points.
Yeah.
And now he's got some pretty solid, an okay chance at doing so. I think this is good because one, it's going to gas everybody.
Yeah.
Because you can't just sit and like pull a Mitch.
Well, you can't talk to friends and then
you can't plan, create an alliance on the island.
Yes. Right.
And come up with some deal. You got to push it, so everybody's going to be tanked by the finals.
Right.
And it allows guys who are like consistent lifters, but maybe they have a few holes. Like depending on where those holes show up in the events.
Yeah.
Like let's say it'll get you into the finals. It gives you a chance at getting up there.
Right.
And like we need to remember that like Mitch Hooper was a reserve not that long ago.
I know. Like
I mean, I think we're just waiting to see some of these guys have a chance at,
yeah, I mean,
being on the podium.
Is this technically? I mean, this is Hatton's first World's Strongest Man, right?
I think with a guaranteed spot, yeah.
Oh, okay. He was an additional like in the past, or he was a reserve in the past.
I think he was a reserve in the past. Don't quote me on that. We're casuals.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's like, I think this is going to be huge for Lucas Hatton. Yeah. We're going to see. Yeah, I don't know. We don't have to go through all the groups. I think the groups. Oh, wait. Before we go to that, the other big change is there's no stone off.
Right.
Which everybody is happy about.
Yeah, who wouldn't
Athletes, the audience, everybody is happy that the stone off is gone, which in short, it used to be in your group, the second and third place did a stone off to guarantee who got second.
Yeah, basically just a gas event to take you into the
so dumb. I mean, if you were good at it allowed some guys to get through who were just like really good at Atlas stones.
Right.
But like sometimes I remember last year some of those point differentials between second and third place were insane.
Yeah,
and then third place wins because they've got a heck of an Atlas stone left.
Yeah.
And so it's like suddenly you've got guys who are in second place who like busted tail
took
to
all
get
the
there,
energy out,
and then in like a matter of a minute and a half lose their place because some guy who was 5 points under them had a great day on Atlas stones.
Right.
Like it just doesn't make any sense. So that's gone.
Yeah, that's nice. You can't have a defining event.
No, it just creates this filter. It's like an Atlas stone filter that doesn't help anybody unless you're really good at Atlas stones, which aren't even in.
They're in the Sunday final. So why is there
not
two
in the
finals?
Qualifying.
Why does it say 2 finals? Or is it 2 days of a final? Is that what it is?
It's 2 days of.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Wait, yeah.
That would make sense then. Yeah, because there's only 3 total. Yeah, they give out the Jimmy Pollock Award in between Flintstone Barbell and Atlas stones.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense then. Yeah.
Well, it's just that they on the second day they have the Flintstone Barbell Max, which is not like a thing that we care about.
Oh, it's not? What is the Sunday final? I think it is. I think these are events for the final. Atlas stones is at 2:30. They're not just consolation events. No. Mitch Hooper would never do a consolation event.
Eric, can we cut this part out?
No, continue to talk. But yeah, I mean, because it looks like there's 3 events on Thursday for qualifying. Then you got more qualifying round, the 2 last events on Friday. That creates the final for Saturday, the final group. And then there's 4 events on Saturday for See, I'm interested. No, there's only 3 events. There's a knack carry and hoist, the deadlift, the Hercules hold, and then another award. I don't know why there's awards on multiple days. I don't understand. But then, and then Sunday final as well. Flintstone barbell, another award in the middle, Atlas stones. I'm going to be honest. And I maybe they're just doing it just to give them a little bit of a separation in between those events. But yeah, it's just weird. You don't give up awards in the middle of the comp. What is happening? But yeah, it seems like I mean it's and what is there? There's 5 total groups, I think. There's
right, so it's 6, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 6 total events, right? Or 6 groups, you mean?
No, there's 5 groups.
5 groups.
But yeah, so the 5 qualifying, essentially, the big point is that the 5 qualifying events
every event matters.
And I do think it's going to change the game for the positive. No Atlas stones, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think, well, I've got 2 thoughts in my head. One is like, we were talking about this before. Maybe we'll just go here. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Just to like put a cap on the Mitchell Hooper thing. Like one of his last videos where he talked about just World's Strongest Man in general. He said essentially, I'm going to try to min-max every competition that I'm in. And that like, and okay, like, I don't know. Is min-max? People know what min-max means. I don't know. He's basically going to like. Know. He's going to take the most advantage of every rule he possibly can, and like, okay, dude, like that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think like I think this is where the world of like strongman being a sideshow attraction, and the other side of it being a sport, kind of like come to a head.
Yes.
And I think part of the reason I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of Hooper hate, but like there is, to me, the essence of the sport is we need to find the strongest person out there.
Yes.
And I don't think I mean, everybody talks about Brian Shaw was like the doctor of, or not the doctor, but like the statistician, the like technical guy for the longest time. Yeah. But he still just like gave it and did everything.
I was gonna say I've never seen Brian
and he never like
half finish an event because he already won.
He never didn't finish an event.
No.
He never like, and you know what? And his legacy is eternal.
Yes.
Like, and it doesn't matter what it matters what he won because it's amazing.
Yes.
But he never once did this sort of like min-max thing. He was like, listen, like if there are rules that don't really make a ton of sense, and he's like, okay, well, let me clarify this. That's fine. Or like, hey, like let's make sure that this is like the way it's supposed to be. Not a matter of like, okay, well, if I just do this way, I can have an advantage. Or I'm so far ahead, I just don't have to do this one. Like, that's not what it's about.
It's not what it's about. You know what's kind of a similar comparison is like, you could say that Mitch is almost like, for any boxing fans, Mitch would be like a Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was 50-0, but he was an incredible puncher, incredibly evasive, but he'd never knocked people out. You're not going to watch, the most it's going to be impressive if you know boxing. But it's not impressive to the layman who's watching this match for 12 rounds when this guy's jabbing him for 12 freaking rounds. Nobody wants to see that. You want to see Mike Tyson go in there. Sometimes he gets knocked out, but he is going to try to knock that person's head off every single time because that's who he is, that's what he does, and he knows what the sport's all about in all of the things.
Sure.
This is that thing where it's like, it became popular because it was a sideshow, and we're slowly moving away from that with a guy like Mitchell Hooper, and that's fine.
Sure.
If that's the way he wants to play the game, it's fine. Could you be the potential greatest of all time if you say he wins 5 to 6 WSMs? We will talk about you like you're the greatest of all time, but I'm never going to talk about a singular event that blew my top off when you were doing it, because there's nothing about him that does that. Sure. There's just not. And it's not fun to watch. I like a good medley, But do I come to strongman so I can watch the fastest guy carrying a sandbag? No, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah. I mean, some of that's just like event evolution, but yeah.
It is, but that's not what I'm saying. It's just like he's playing the game.
Yeah.
He's a tryhard. Let's put it out like that. He's a tryhard, and he's just bending. He's not bending any rules, but he's like stretching them as as thin as he possibly can to make them work within the confines of what he's trying to do. And it's
or you find a way to use him as an advantage.
Yes,
and I mean it's not. And then everyone's gonna be like, "Well, he is still strong." Like, no shit.
Obviously, he's strong,
very
dude.
Strong. I mean, I think that this is like this is the same thing in like lots of other mainstream sports.
Yes.
Like, there's people who are incredibly good athletes.
Yes,
but people don't like them.
Yes,
and in a world of strongman where like probably more than 50% of your career is based on like your personality.
Yes.
Until Luke made the mistake.
Right.
That was a
Right.
deal. It was like, listen, like we all loved Luke Stoltman.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, I mean, he was winning some stuff. I mean, he was winning some giant stuff.
Yeah.
He was podiuming in some Giants Live stuff and like doing okay. And he's been doing well for a long time, but he's just sort of been in it because everyone's just like, hey man, like we appreciate you as a person.
Yeah.
And I think about a lot of other guys who are being kind of drawn along because they've got a following.
Yes.
People like them. We see them in competitions, not necessarily because they're like gonna podium, but because they're like people we appreciate in the sport. And like, I don't, like it's you're not cultivating that sort of like personality when you're not finishing events and you're just like min-maxing the game.
If you're a strong casual, you enjoy strongman, and so you probably follow their lives as well.
Right, exactly.
And so if you're not, and it's weird, it's so weird with Mitch Hooper, because if you told anybody like to watch Mitch's videos and be like, he's a likable guy. Everything he like means, like his his motto, lift heavy, be kind, everything he does for like charity, all these things, and it's like, why do I still not like the guy? It's like it should never be that way. But it's like he is not. His brand is fine, but he's not helping himself as the strongman, because I almost don't think his brand carries into strongman. I just don't feel that. I feel Mitchell Hooper, the athlete, is Mitchell Hooper, the athlete, and he plays a different game than what he's doing in his real life. I don't know. I just kind of feel that way. It just seems that way.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I think it's like I think he wants his image is obviously valuable to him.
Yeah.
It's probably modestly how he like makes more money than he already does. But like, and he doesn't want to do anything to, well, taint that, obviously. But I think that like it's as you were saying, like strongman, the current strongman audience is dedicated enough that like
we're in the age of social
care
media.
about all those things.
Yeah.
And like, cool, you won everything. Here's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the first Cars movie?
Of course.
In the first Cars movie, does Lightning McQueen win the Piston Cup?
No.
He does not, right? He pushes that other guy,
I forgot that
the
guy's
Dynaco
name.
guy, across and shows like respect for that guy. And nobody cares that Chick Hicks won.
Right.
Because they find more value in that guy's personality. And
his
like
story, who he is as a person.
And I can think of a ton of mainstream athletes who are like good athletes, like Donald Driver.
Yes.
Who doesn't love Donald Driver?
I know.
Like, and then like, it's like, is anybody about to spit out all of Donald Driver's awards and all stats?
He didn't have he didn't have 12 Super Bowl rings. It's like
no, but everybody loves him.
Yes.
Man. And there's a lot of other guys who like are on paper far more successful, but he's not the people's athlete.
No, that's a concise statement, I think there. It's like he's not the people's athlete, and I also think like your image and your personality and the way you come off to humans, if you're gonna transcend strongman and you want to do things in the future, bro, like you gotta like warm up, man.
Or like, I mean, just like if you're gonna compete. Like I mean, and I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, I might get hurt, and like, you know what, you might.
Welcome to what strongman is, dude.
I mean, like people who've been watching strongman since the late 70s and 80s. I mean, things they remember are people getting hurt.
The injuries are why people were watching World's Strongest Man.
Was it it wasn't Lou Ferrigno, whoever like busted their knee on that first, like
Right.
whatever. And I also think about some of the guys now who are kind of like the legacy guys,
Yeah.
like Mark Felix.
I think it was Lou Ferrigno.
And like and Nick Best and all these guys who've just been in it forever, and they always give it everything they have, and they always have, and they're gonna be remembered.
And you talk about Mark and Nick, and they're just like plagued with injuries throughout their career, but they're giving everything they had.
Yeah.
It's like the Strongest Man in History show. They were doing literally sideshow things,
Yeah.
sideshow events, sideshow like pulls and stuff, and they're trying to push the limit. This is for nobody but the people around them.
Right.
And the international TV watching. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's a show, and they're just trying to put it on, and that's what all of these are.
Yeah.
These are all shows. People
Right.
pay
They're TV
money to watch you do your thing.
Yeah.
In World's Strongest Man, we don't pay, but 6 months later, we're gonna watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like, I just don't understand like this whole thing. You're not gaining any fans quitting in the middle of an event because you won.
Yeah,
And
or
when
like
that
or
happens-
like making deals as to where to finish so you can
Yeah.
go into the finals stronger.
Yeah, and especially if it ends like that, I don't give a fuck if you win.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is-
care at all.
This is why I love Tom, because everything we've basically said is the opposite of Tom.
Yes.
Because he's just like,
Yes.
Tom is just like, I'm gonna lift heavy things.
Yes.
I don't really want to get into all this BS. Like, he's dealing with all of his own stuff.
Yes.
And he does it relatively outside of the social media's eye, but he still has a social media following.
Yes.
And people still care about him, and he's, in my mind, the only spicy brother left.
Yeah.
So it's like, but he's just like sort of solidly doing it. And then you got guys like Lucas Hatton, who's just a down to earth,
Yes.
good guy. We have we watched Guardione compete at OSG
Right.
and get his ride, get his ticket here, and it'll be great to watch him on the big stage.
Who else is here at this one?
Bryce Johnson.
Bryce Johnson.
And we saw Schuwinkle is in here.
That's right.
And there's a lot of, they got a lot of new, like
I know,
newer
it's-
guys
I like
in
this
here
new
that I think
generation.
is
It's
going to
exciting.
be fun to watch. And it's sort of like, I don't know. It's like the peloton of Tom and Mitch are just going to kind of pass by. But
Yeah.
then there's a lot more sport to watch.
Well, that's the thing. It's like with a guy like Mitch, at least from our standpoint, it's like I'm looking to watch everybody else. It's like
I think it'll be interesting to see. He's confident, of course he is.
Yeah,
His comment when he found out about all the things was essentially this: he sees it working to his favor. But what is he going to say? Like,
I know.
He's going to screw me up.
Yeah.
Because he said like his consistency in multiple events or whatever. But it also like it forces you. Well, we've said this 1,000 times, but it forces you to compete.
We are a broken record, but I don't care.
It forces you to compete, and I'm excited to see him have to compete.
If Mitch wasn't a broken record, we wouldn't have to be a broken record. I just feel there's Tom. Anytime anybody wins, like other than Mitch, it's like they are almost crying. Like there's passion in these guys.
Yeah.
Mitch winning his what was the last massive event? He won Arnold's.
Yeah,
It didn't even look like he cared, which is just nuts. And obviously he cares, but it's like, show anything, man.
Well, and like, he is kind of I don't know. I think he's maybe evolved too much into a businessman.
It seems like that.
I don't know.
Maybe he's too mild-mannered. I have no idea, but it's like...
I think he went from 0 to 60 in 2 years.
Right.
And that can, people can do okay with that. And then some people, maybe it gets to them a little bit.
Yeah. I don't care if you're going to win on paper. Like just put it all out there, man.
And there's no guarantees here. I do think Tom has a chance. I think Tom just needs to show up with his head in the game.
Yeah.
Which, if we've looked at his past history of competing, he shows up to Worlds.
He does.
And there's other events, Arnold's, etc., things that in the past where maybe he wasn't not ready, but
he was dealing with some
just
injuries
there. Yeah.
before last comp. You could say he was in his head about his poor performance at the start, and so it kind of just dominoed as the events went on because he was still in his head.
Right.
But he's freaking human, okay?
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's how it should be. It's like you're gonna have up and down events, and it's like the king of consistency is obviously doing his thing, but it's like it's only Mitch Hooper is not. I don't know. I think from an athlete standpoint, like people who are in strongman competing, I think they love to watch Mitch Hooper because they know what he's doing and they totally appreciate everything he's doing. I can't imagine they're appreciating his min-maxing. I can't see that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for fans that are not competitors, you need to bring your everything every goddamn time. I don't know what we're doing. Like, this is World's Strongest Man. This is the pinnacle of strength.
Yeah, and it needs to be a competition, and we need to do whatever we need to do to make it a competition.
Yes.
And I think they're taking steps in the right direction.
I think so too.
Like there needs to be a fight.
Yes.
Like I mean, it can't just be the same dude winning every time. Like something needs to happen.
Right.
And I think we're moving. I mean, we are moving in the right direction. I think I just get a little tired of the whole like. I don't know.
What? Say it. I've said it every. I've said
No, I
everything.
mean, I'm just repeating myself.
Well, it's impossible not to.
I'm more excited to see some of these other guys. I'm really excited to see Lucas Hatton compete. I think he's going to do really well. I think
Get the athletes quick.
his deadlift, he's got a killer deadlift. His overhead medley is good. I think he's going to have a chance. He's in a kind of tough group, but I think he'll be okay. I know Patty Haynes. I think Patty Haynes has got a tough group too, but I think he's going to do well. The one event that's kind of not coming back, but the event that's there that I think a lot of people are not super into was the Hercules hold because apparently the weight they put on the Hercules hold at Worlds is like insanity.
Is it?
And so there's a lot of guys who like in other competitions might be able to pull out like over a minute. Apparently that thing just tears you up.
Oh, I'm
because
sure.
they just load on the weight. And so that becomes a bit of a thing. And I know like grip is not everybody's thing.
Right.
And so there might be some guys who are able to get some points there as far as grip is concerned and maybe some other names that were not too
keen on, just familiar with.
I think Patty's going to do great on that. If
I
he gets
think
there.
Tristan Hoth, like we have a lot of guys who can like really do something, and I think we'll watch this and see how it goes. But I think eventually, like diversifying events, like you said, that Hercules hold, nobody likes it, but it matters, and
yeah,
it separates.
I don't know if
athletes.
I don't know if nobody likes it. I think maybe they just like to see a little lighter weight and some longer times,
Right.
But like, I mean,
those pain games, you just gotta.
One, I mean, if Patty gets there, when he did that giant, there was a couple, or it was a while ago now, but a Giants Live event with the wrecking ball hold, and he just destroyed it.
Yeah,
he's just like a down home grip strength master. But
those events are kind of like nice. That's why I hate seeing like three medleys of any kind like in the middle of stuff. And you're just like,
though in this case, I think those medleys are going to be to Tom's advantage.
Yeah,
dude is like.
He's
fit.
So much trimmer than he was,
and I think he's gonna. If he turns it on for those medleys, I think he's gonna do really well.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm interested to see how his injury's doing, and he's back with Luke's coach as well, the guy he's been working with for a while.
Yeah.
So, and he seems just much happier, much more in the right place.
I think they have a lot of resources, like going with a bigger, like a conglomerate.
Yeah,
they have a lot of resources that isn't just, and nothing like I'm not talking bad about like the single trainer business plan, but just sometimes the more access you have to like resources, the better. Trey Mitchell, again,
I know you just never know what Trey will do.
Dude's deadlift is insane, and he doesn't wear a suit, which I don't completely understand.
They should make everybody no suit. They really should.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I mean, cool. They did no suits at OSG. I mean, why not? I think
exactly.
I
think you're right.
Suits. But I mean, like, he also just doesn't train in a suit, which like. You talk to like multiply or single ply guys in the powerlifting world, and it's a different world. I mean, you start throwing
that's why it's a separate thing,
right? You start throwing suits on and wraps on, and things start changing a little bit. I think Matt Ragg's going to be cool. His group is pretty gnarly.
He's in Mitch's group, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Evan Singleton was essential. I think he's considered a 1 seed in his group.
Is he really?
Which, like, no offense to Evan, but I don't know. He's maybe a low one, but like,
right.
This is that tough thing
that you were saying before. It's like to find 5 standout ones is not a thing right now.
Right.
It's not.
Well, and when you have Mitch win everything, it's kind of hard to like put together
seed anything.
seeds that make any sense.
Right.
But I think Tom has an okay group. I don't think Tom's going to have to work too hard to get out of his group.
Yeah.
I think the rest of the people in his group will be okay. Eddie Williams, Schoenwinkel, Thomas Evans, and Austin Andrade, which Austin could do some wild things.
Austin Andrade, yeah, he beat out a bunch of people last at Arnold's. Andrade did, so
Yeah.
it's
Matouche is back.
oh, that's right.
So I see him doing well, and he's with Shane Flowers and Lucas Haddon, Evans Nana, and Reno Nell. I think Matouche and Shane will maybe come out of that, but I'm just hoping Lucas just like uses his little Casa Doom strength and
I hope he does too.
whoops up. Trey Mitchell, Luke Richardson, I think have good chances of winning their group with Tristan Hoth, Andre Foitou, and Maxime Boudreau. I mean, I love Maxime as a dude.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's
Maxime
gonna. I don't know if he's gonna be top 2 in that group.
It's tough. That's honestly that's a pretty tough group considering who's in it.
Oh no, Group 4 is gonna be the group to watch because all these guys are like have a chance.
Right.
Like the other ones, you've got like an obvious first, maybe.
Yeah.
These guys, there isn't necessarily. I don't think I
You
think
could have split these guys into different groups. Like it's like that. Like
yeah. I think a current Luke Richardson is gonna do like the form that he's in currently. I think he's got a great chance at just. I mean, coming out of that, winning the group. But then, I mean, like...
we got Derwinski, too.
Yeah. If Trey turns it on, I think he'll be good. Well, Group 5 is an interesting one. Andrew Flynn, Nick Guardione, Pavlo, Evan, and Luke. I mean, I think...
that's a really interesting group, actually. Yeah,
it is.
I like that.
I don't think... I'm not trying to, like, be a mean person.
Right.
I don't know if Andrew Flynn and Nick Guardione have...
We don't belittle here.
A chance.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they'll do well. And honestly, like, just the fact that Nick got an invite to this is pretty sweet.
I mean, this is like you don't walk into WSM expecting to, win, let alone even leave your group in a comp as stacked as this. It's like...
Well, it's kind of cool for us, too, because we saw him, like, stamp his ticket at OSG, and now he's going to be there. I think Kordiaka has a chance. I think the static stuff is going to be his issue. I think like deadlift. I think it's good. It's deadlift for reps, and it's not a stat, and it's not like a max. So I think he's got more of a chance there. I mean, Pavlo is he just keeps going.
Right.
Like I'll never forget his last Conan's wheel when they did the rain wheel of whatever. Dude just kept going.
It was like.
I mean, there's a reason he has.
It was he has the world record.
The
for
world
a reason.
record, but
is it how do they pick what athletes go? Like, is there an order? Like, if you win the event like last time and then you go last, like, that's not a thing anymore?
Yeah, it'll be a thing. Just within the heats to start, and then within the groups, and then at the final, the same deal. But it's also going to be like Group 1 will do event 1, Group 2 will do event 1, Group 3 will do event 1. Which I mean, there's no real. It doesn't seem like there's an obvious group advantage, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole point, right?
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
I think it's going to be great. I know one of the things I didn't think about that Pa was talking about was a lot of these guys don't train in heat.
You're in California this year.
So he was talking, well, I mean, he's in Ireland, so it's just raining all the time and kind of cold.
And I mean, granted,
they
were at a beach last night. It was still hot.
Yeah, but I think and I'm saying that like every year I think that it's probably gonna like some of these guys who maybe haven't competed in the heat as much, that might be a thing for them. But
I think, I mean, honestly, it's gonna be way better than Florida, bro. I mean, it's like Florida heat is different than California heat for sure.
Yeah,
the humidity is gonna be down.
Will be down. Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be a heck of a thing. So everybody, make sure to stay on the website and watch the tracker.
Yeah, get ready to refresh your page as much as you can to figure out who's gonna win things.
I am praying that, like last year, Eddie Hall is there too, and he is. I know he's there. I'm assuming he's gonna do the exact same thing. He's gonna go after every day. After every day, go to Eddie Hall's YouTube page. Everybody listening. and he will give you a recap of all the events for the day and how everybody scored.
If we could get a shout out back,
yeah, that'd
Eddie,
be sick.
that'd be fantastic.
That'd be super sick. But yeah, that's the way. The tracker obviously is a long day of tracking. Holy heck, it's a long day.
It's
and
definitely
you
not getting audience.
No, dude, you don't know when to refresh. You see one person do one event, you're like, just keep refreshing, and it still takes like 12 minutes for even anything to happen. So if I was you guys, check in the middle of the day, kind of just go through it, or just, check at the start of the day, but just wait for Eddie Hall's YouTube video, because he's going to work with that guy again. He's always the commentator there, the other
and
analyst.
I don't know who they're going to get out. They usually get out some other names.
Yeah.
From the past. I don't know if like Kaz or anything's going to be there, but
none of them even. Only Connor is like the only one who talks at all on those things. If anybody's talking like during events, it's Connor Bryce or whatever, right? Colin.
Yeah, I mean, Colin will be there. I'm sure all the like standard will have the standard Magnus Fair Magnuson's going to be there, and Ode and all the
they don't say anything.
Classic dudes. They're just out there judging.
Ode
stuff,
and Magnus they're just few words, and it's more of just ups and downs. It's really
some would probably argue that it may be time for some new judges, but you didn't hear it here first.
You didn't.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I love you. There's a limit, right? And I think Magnus has just been in the middle of. Well, he hasn't had that much drama, but
is he in drama?
Well, I mean, he was for a brief period of time.
I mean,
mainly just like, some events in the past. I mean, there's some guys that like. I mean, obviously, you want judges who are completely devoid of
bias,
right? And sometimes that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not hard to do. Like nobody needs to know who the judge is. Like no one needs to know.
I get it. You're putting out the most popular strongman of all time. Like it's like I get you're trying to do that, but
yeah. And also I think there's maybe some value in having somebody nobody knows, because then it's like, okay, well, they have no affiliation,
right?
And with a thing like Worlds, like obviously it sort of matters where you're from too.
100%.
Like yeah, whatever. I don't.
I also think just one small anecdote. Speaking of Eddie Hall, he fought.
Yeah, dude. I am so happy they didn't pay for that.
I know, dude. So he fought our goat. Other than Big Z, you could say Marius is the GOAT. I mean, he's got more WSMs than anybody. Yeah, I mean, Marius Pujanowski fought Eddie Hall.
Big Z is but yeah.
And he lost in 16 seconds to Eddie
Hall.
It
was like the dumbest thing. I am so tired.
Let's watch the match again.
Well, it's not going to take long.
It's not going to take very long at all.
I am so mad. I'm so frustrated with like the amount of hype behind these things then the absolute disappointment. He just throws him on the ground and beats the piss out of him.
Literally, he just smashes him in the back of the head right there. So those are a bunch of illegal hits. Tosses him. Those are legal.
Bang,
those are legal.
Done. And
Eddie Hall is still like twice as big as Pujanowski, and I guess they were the same weight, which makes no damn sense to me.
Yeah, nah.
The also hilarious thing about a lot of these, any like Russian like fight organizations, they have fight shorts, and they could put all of the sponsors on the fight shorts, but a lot of them choose to print the sponsors onto their skin.
Yeah, I see that.
Which is crazy behavior. It doesn't even make. It's like peeling off during the fights. It's so weird. Fake tattoos all over their body. It's like, the Beast Farm over his giant tattoo.
Well, I mean, that sort of makes sense because he owns it.
Right.
I mean, like, whatever.
It's like, we know about Beast Farm, bro. We know. You're the Beast. You literally have Beast tattooed on your arms.
I'm just so fed up with these things. Like,
So because of this, Eddie has been like calling out every fighter that's ever existed, and it's just so strange. Or people were calling out Eddie even, and it's just there's a karate combat league. And they fight in like a pit style, so like angled walls.
Okay.
And there's a former UFC fighter named Sam Alvey. He's technically the heavyweight champion of Karate Combat. He wasn't that good of a UFC fighter, but is smoking everybody in Karate Combat. He called out Eddie Hall. He's 200 pounds less than Eddie Hall, but he's still Sam Alvey would probably smoke Eddie Hall. He's a tenured fighter, and he would more than likely smoke him.
Well, I think that's why. I think he's been pretty open about the fact that like. He kind of chose this fight.
Right.
Like, it kind of made sense.
Right. And he obviously he's still trying to fight, and he wants to continue fighting, but it's like Eddie's been fighting for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like training. It's like if he fought an actual fighter, it would be a genuine problem. If the guy's any close to his size, 200 pounds or over, he's not going to get. Maybe if Eddie got his hands on him, he could throw him.
Yeah.
You know,
he called this.
He did.
In his when his documentary came out, Eddie Strongman, which we should do a watch.
That's not a bad documentary.
We should do a watch.
Agreed.
That was in 2015.
I know.
He was doing an interview with his wife, and he said, I want one World's Strongest Man, and then I'm done. But he says at the end, he's got this little hang. You all should all watch it. It's a great documentary. But he's sitting on the couch with his wife, and he's like, well, I just want one, and then I'm done. And he kind of like looks over and he looks back at the camera. He's like, but like maybe I'd go into like UFC or something.
Right.
And the look on his wife's
so
face
funny.
is just like, you shut up.
Well, he's still so damn young, man.
Yeah,
he's still so young. He's like what, a year older than us or something like that? Like 2?
Yeah, I don't like to think about that.
I don't like that either. Anytime I think of ages of people, I'm like, oh.
But no. I mean, I think like it's he whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't care.
He was 6'2", 334 for his first match. Way more than Marius. There's no way Marius was close to 334.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. In 5, 6, 7 years when Mitch isn't really competing anymore, I don't care if he fights anybody.
Yeah, no,
okay, I don't need to bring.
I'm looking for that. I'm not.
I don't. He'll like ask about the rules and I don't know, put brass knuckles in his raps or something.
Dude, I don't know. It's like, what do you?
They didn't say I wasn't allowed to do it.
It's true.
Okay, I'm done.
Well, we'll briefly speak on what are we at, Eric, for time?
About an hour.
Let's just finish real quick. Can you pull up the strongest arm on earth? Brian Shaw's arm wrestling event.
Oh yeah,
the strongest arm on earth. Oberst is pulling Eddie.
Obi.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. So the strongest arm on earth is Brian Shaw's arm wrestler. New arm wrestler Brian Shaw. Strongest arm on, that's his t-shirt. Strongest arm on earth is coming up at the Strongest Man on Earth event.
Sweet.
August 15th. In Loveland, Colorado, Brian Shaw's event. Brian Shaw has a pull against Brandon Allen. Don't know who Brandon Allen is. I apologize. I'm sure he's a great.
Though, man.
I like that tat. He's a great puller, I'm sure. And then we got Gabby. There we go. That's who it was. Gabby Vasconcelos, who previously lost to Barboa, is facing Sarah Bachman. Sarah just got smoked by somebody. I forget who it was, but
doesn't matter.
But Sarah was way smaller than this lady, and yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Sarah and Gabby, that's a great match. But yeah, Eddie Hall versus Robert Oberst.
I've never seen Obi pull.
I've never seen it either. But Obi is Obi, and he damn sure don't want to lose. I tell you that.
No, yeah, this is right up Obi's alley.
That's a great match in my opinion. I mean, Eddie, very little experience. I'm sure Obi has,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how much of I don't know how much of the Eddie Bryan match was like. I'm not gonna say real versus not, but I don't know how much
Eddie
of that
was
back and forth. But Eddie pulled it.
Eddie's
man.
a problem. Eddie's a serious problem on the table.
Eddie made him think.
Yeah, Obi is not training with the mouth of Eastern Europe. So it's like
this is true.
I was gonna say the mouth of the South, but he's not from the South. So
right.
It's gonna be an incredibly interesting match. My assumption is Eddie is going to smash him just because he's done the dang thing. And
I don't know. I don't even know if I really haven't been on Obi's socials in forever.
Yeah, I don't know. There's too many assault rifles. I can't even see through.
Yeah, him and Evan Singleton get to go shoot guns together or something.
Yeah, they do. But this will be exciting. This is August 15th. There's World's Strongest Man this weekend, starting tomorrow, everybody. That'll be May 15th. So certainly check that out.
Refresh your screens.
Yeah, refresh those trackers. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It was a good one. We'll be back in another 6 months. This has been the stream. Just kidding, guys. We're gonna be back way before 6 months.
Like 5
or something. But we're the Strong Casuals. And if you guys are
gripping,
we're ripping.